Hello, everybody. I'm Andrew McDaniels. With me today is my good friend Patrick. Hello, Patrick. How you doing, man?
Hi, Andrew. How are you?
I'm good, good. So today's purpose of the video is basically to introduce you to everybody and uh, for you to explain your experiences with my mining group and just yeah, just share openly like a conversation, you know.
Okay.
Can you do me a favor and tell everybody where you're from, what you're doing right now as far as business and investing, and anything else you'd like to share?
Sure, sure. I'd be glad. First, I would like to thank you for all your help that you've been giving and all those advice that you've been giving for those last almost what 2 years now? Yeah, almost
Cheers.
2 years. Yeah, that I've been part of your group. So I'm originally from Quebec City in Canada, so you can hear the accent, a little French accent, and my wife is Jamaican, so you can hear the little twist, like the little spice to it. And I actually live in South Florida. I've been investing in, I've been owning some retail fashion store in the Cayman Islands, tax free, which is great. And I've been investing in real estate in USA for a while, different syndication, from multifamily to manufacturing plant and stuff, and land funds. So I've been doing a little bit of real estate here and there. I'm looking to be more active into land because that's what I like. So basically, that's it. And my family have I'm married. I have 3 kids, and they all going to school now. The school just started, so it's kind of crazy. But yeah, so that's a little bit about what I'm doing.
Fantastic, man. And so, like you said, you've been with me now for 2 years.
Yeah.
So since you started with me, you've probably accumulated a good sized portfolio now, right?
Yes. Throughout the 2 years, I think that you've been giving a good amount of new mining companies every month. Um, Most of them I think that I I got. And there's always like adjusting and stuff because sometimes things change in the market. So sometimes you get one, and that's after you have to just sell, one to allocate capital to a better one that you find. So yeah, I've been getting a good amount of companies from you throughout the 2 years. Yes.
Nice, man. Um, what would you say is your goals for your life now and in the future?
Uh, I'm trying to find an edge against inflation, and that's what I've always been trying to do. Throughout the years with having business, you accumulate money, and then it's either you don't have money and it's a problem, or you have money and it's still a problem. Because when you have money, you have to find a way always to conserve it, either against inflation, against lawsuit, against all kind of things. So I was trying to find an edge against inflation, and I did so in investing in different real estate syndication, but also I found a new way, which was the mining stocks. Um, since there's so much upside in what you're finding, I mean, it's a good way, I think, to diversify and don't put all my eggs in the same basket, because I didn't want to put like, okay, I have like everything in real estate. So if anything happened to the real estate market, then you kind of screwed. So I said, well, why not? I mean, it all makes sense because I could invest in different things like crypto or other things that I don't really understand. But when it comes to mining, it's just very simple. When you look around your environment, you see products, you see vehicles, you see like it all use minerals. It all use like stuff coming from the ground. You look at cars, there's steel. You look at your cell phone, and solar panel, aluminum, copper, like everything. It's just like it's everywhere. So it's a no-brainer to know that, okay, all these things, they will be always in demand. And if there's not enough mines, or it takes so much time to get a mine up and running, and it's getting shortage because production, they keep on going up, and they need more aluminum or they need more silver. Sorry. It's just a no-brainer that the price, 101, like price demand is just gonna keep on going up, you know. So if you put your money into something that have that kind of potential, then for sure you'll be able to get edge against inflation and really reach your goal, you know. So I think that's
Yeah, absolutely. And
that's
so
been the
you're
goal.
you're invested so that you can retire early, right?
Well, yeah, it's the goal for everybody to find a way out to just like come out of the rat race. So I mean, I think with this, once everything, because right now everything is getting manipulated, like you've been explaining, like you can see also if you start to pay attention to all government work and all these things, they all manipulated, price are manipulated and all that, but it can be forever. You know, they will become one point that everything has to break loose, because I mean you can't just keep doing this kind of system. And then at this point, you know, once the silver and all the other mineral, they will reach the price that they're supposed to be, then it's just gonna expand definitely your net worth. You know, is there's no choice, it's just only going up. It can't go down. It can't go down. If it go down, it's because it's gonna come back up like a lot more. Yeah.
Yeah, man, I totally understand and agree with you. So when you first joined with me, how much did you know about mining, investing, if you did know anything?
I didn't have a clue about that. I think if I had gone and do it on my own, probably wouldn't have done it on my own, because I wouldn't pay attention to really what's happening if you never put, you know, if you never like kind of explain it in a way that you know, this is what's happening in our world right now. I mean, I was always seeing your memes and stuff, and it's just like kind of like that's what draw me, you know, and I think that's what draw a lot of people towards your group and all that is if you like-minded and stuff, then you would start to pay more attention. And the memes, they're memes, they're meant to be funny, but they're the truth, you know. So then that open up your eyes, and then when you start to talk about mining and stuff, it's just like all those things, they made sense, you know. So, and I didn't know absolutely nothing about that. I probably would have ended up investing in like some bogus company that, like you said, like there's maybe 1,000 company, but 100 of them may be worth investing. And then out of the 100, like, you know, you still have to pick and choose, you know, because there's a lot of phony company out there. So, but I didn't have a clue about nothing. So,
There's so many companies out there that will go bankrupt, and they just because they won't find the deposit, or they just burn money. They use the company to fund their lifestyle. Um, they recycle old news, and they're not
yeah.
really
And
ethical or trustworthy. Mhm.
and I think that's kind of where you come as a real asset, because you know those you know the industry for a while, you know, so you know where to search. You're always in the news, you know, of that sorry, specific industry. And then you know where to find like those good news and what these news mean for investor, or like if they find a new mine and they drill and they get some kind of sample, you know exactly what this mean and what it's going to translate into, you know. So that's when you decide, okay, let me invest in this. A lot of them you try it yourself first and see where it's going. You're not really going to give a call to any of us without you like know what you're talking about and trying it, you know. So and because at the end of the day, you just don't want to put anything out there. It's like, oh well, just try it. It's all stuff that you tested. So I mean, so that's why
Right.
so many people trust your decisions, you know.
I try to every single company. I do my own due diligence on it, and I don't put out anything that I don't like or I wouldn't buy myself.
Right.
So Patrick, what made you decide to work with me? I know you said you like my memes and you like the information I was putting out, but what made you pull the trigger?
Yeah. Well, beside the memes, I think we're thinking alike, and that was one of the thing. Another thing is, I think that, I mean, you're a kind of like a no bullshit guy, that if there's something that is not right, you're gonna say, hey, this is what's happening right now, and then like you get caught your pants down and see this is what's happening, like, you're gonna say it as it is, you're not really gonna hold back. And then even if it hurts people, even if you tell them the truth. I mean, it is what it is, and I rather be with somebody that is transparent and bold, because you always kind of know what they're thinking. So it's not like, very shady, and then they're gonna say, "Oh yeah, do this," and then and then you can't trust what they're saying. I mean, once somebody like always shed the light on what somebody else is doing wrong, kind of like it tell you, okay, well, I mean, I could like be maybe more follow this person what they're saying, because if there's something wrong, they will always speak about it. So just the fact that you were like very kind of always truthful about things, it just draw me closer to like, I didn't sign up right away, but it didn't take me too long, and then it just draw me near, and then make me take that decision that I think is the right thing, to do. And then I mean, everybody have to do their due diligence. I mean, nobody's stupid. After a while, you've been in business for a while, you've been around people, you can have a bullshit detector and say, okay, well, this is bullshit. And I think that you did a good job proving yourself that you could be somebody that could lead a group and lead your own group in the industry that this is your niche and all that. And I think that you did a good job to show people that you can give them the right companies to give them the right returns, because there's people within your group that investing very heavy into the companies that you're suggesting. So meanings that they trust your judgment. I mean, if somebody decides to take like 6 figure and put it on a company to just tell them about that is like about to explode, is because this person do their own due diligence like I did, and then trust you. And because nobody gonna take 100,000 and just like, okay, well, Andrew, like somebody say, oh, put in this company. It's like, okay, why? But it come to a point that they don't need to really say why. Say, Andrew, give you this company, invest in it. That's it. Don't even think about it. And all the thinking, I mean, of course, everybody's busy with their life and all that. Andrew's mostly doing the thinking on this part, because this is what he does. This is what he knows. Sorry. So you don't really need to spend all those hours researching and, you know, thinking, or just trying to find out if it's the right company, if it's the right decision you're taking, because you did those steps already. So I think it's very valuable.
That's great, man.
Yeah.
A lot of people are along the kind of people that are in my group are every different part of the spectrum. There's like young guys, and there's guys that are
Yep.
7, 8 figure net worth real
Yep.
estate people, and
Yep.
everywhere in between. And so there's people that make a quick decision to join, and then there's people that take their time. They want to verify me. They want to verify if what I'm saying is legitimate first, to
Yep.
follow me for a period of time. I mean, we were Facebook friends for a while. I mean, you didn't
Yep.
take that long I mean, we talked probably 2 times or something before you
Yep.
joined, but everybody's different, right? Everybody needs to be able to trust, right?
Yep.
And that's important. And so, I really appreciate from you all the kind words you just said, because for me, it's, I love doing what I do every single day. And for me, it's a lot of fun, but I take what I do like really like full responsibility for what I do. And I don't take it lightly, because there's so many people out there putting their trust in me. So it's important for me to maintain their trust, but also to grow it over time as well.
Correct.
So man, during this 2 years period of time that you've been with me, what would you say is the coolest thing that you've learned from either me or someone else in the group? What was the coolest thing that you've learned or experienced?
The coolest thing, well, I would say is like you really shedding lights on what's going on with those banks and the government and all that. I think that's really like open up. Well, I knew already that government was like that, and then they're just like master puppet and all that. But you breaking it down and keep giving an example, through all with the group, you know, within the group, because you have the mastermind and you also have the other group that you know, people sign up and then you can move up to the mastermind and all that. So you keep on sharing information and articles and stuff that keep on supporting the things that you're saying, and the reason why you should be investing in um, certain assets, you know, in the mining world. I think one of the thing that kind of like really like open up my eyes the most is the sustainable energy, like the wind turbines and stuff, like all those things that take so much power to create like a wind turbine, that doesn't even make sense, you know, to have this thing out there, because the amount of power it takes to make a wind turbine, that wind turbine will never produce that amount of energy. So what's the point? And then it's green energy, but you have to cut all those trees in order to put those wind turbines. So it's just like I wouldn't say it's the coolest, but I think it's like it's something that is very like kind of like double-sided. It's like it's like I'm trying to to go green, but at the same time I just make so much pollution in order to get there that it don't make sense. And then what you're trying to explain people is like, okay, with nuclear, you know, and uranium and stuff, that way, like, it's just so much smarter. It just doesn't need like nothing much to create so much more energy, and it's cleaner. But the way the
Definitely.
government's yeah, the way, I mean, like the way the government's putting it is like, oh, like nuclear and all this is bad radioactive stuff. But then if it's well contained, it don't make more waste or pollution or damage than like whatever else they're just putting out there for their own benefits, you know. It's all a scam. So basically that is what it is, you know. So joining your group just make you realize that, you know, you really live in a matrix, you know. That's just what it is. Or you're in the matrix. So Andrew putting
Right.
you back, like Andrew putting you back to wherever you're supposed to be, you know.
I
So
definitely try, yeah, I try to open people's eyes because
yeah,
a lot of people think that green energy is a good thing. And I mean, it's noble, right? It's a good intention,
yeah,
but
I would think so.
because
Yeah,
it's a good intention doesn't mean it has a good outcome.
yeah,
Because, you know, like you mentioned, windmills, Scotland cut down 16 million trees or some shit like that.
yeah.
So, and half of them run on diesel generators.
That,
In
that's nuts. I mean,
It's crazy,
just
right?
just the electric cars, the same thing with those batteries, you know, lithium and
Yeah,
all that.
recyclable. They're full of heavy metals and toxic metals, and
Exactly. You
it's
know, how much you have to mine in one battery, you know. It's like
yeah,
in those, you know, like you have to mine all those big rig that mining and all that, and it's like just to get one battery that's going to do what? That's just gonna be a clean energy. It's not clean if it took you like, you know, so much to get this thing out of the ground and so much pollution to just get something clean. It's just like no make sense. So you know, that's just like ironic, you
it's
know. But
really crazy, isn't it? And
yeah,
you know, that's what I try to do in my free group. Like you'd mentioned, the
yeah,
free group, I try to provide like information and stuff to wake people up because a lot of people they don't know this business even exists. They
yeah,
don't know that the mining you can invest
yeah,
in gold producers or silver producers or uranium producers or
exactly.
they don't they just think I'm going to go buy coins and that's my investment.
Exactly. I didn't have a clue before as well. It's like, okay, buy silver, gold. So I'm thinking, okay, I have to buy the physical thing, and then, yes, you need to own some, you know, but also you can't keep carrying this thing around because it's heavy. You know, that's why it end up to have like paper notes, you know, for money
Yeah.
because people couldn't carry their silver around. But at the same time, you know, if you wasn't there, I would never know about like those mining company. And then also, you're not really investing in the exploration side. You're investing in those companies that finish explore, then found something. And at this point, this is when you're ready to invest because there's other investor that they will just fund the exploration part of it, and it's a very risky. Yeah, there's a good upside if you find something, but also there's losses. So you're more into those that already like very young found something and then okay, like I'm ready to invest and still have like 10x, you know, 5 6 7
I
10x potential, you know.
it's important because if you invest in exploration, it's kind of like finding a needle in a haystack, and
Yep.
it's extreme risk. It's 1 in 1,000 chance of finding something. So I only invest in companies that have found something. And
Exactly.
okay, might not have 100 times my 100x, but I'm okay with that. If I make 5x or 10x, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, it's
So
fine.
the risk is removed, but the
Yeah,
upside is still there.
the risk, yeah. But then instead of doing that, you just invest in several companies that all have 5 to 10x, return potential. So I mean, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. You have to be contented with something that may be a little less risky, but still have good potential than just like risking it all. So I mean, you trying
Yeah.
to edge against inflation and trying to retire, not trying to. There's no room for any mistake. When you reach a certain age, you cannot invest in something that's going to be losing. So I mean, there's less upside, but there's more safety. So then you more guarantee that you're gonna really like make a good return on your investment. So yeah.
Yeah, man. What would you say to people that are thinking about joining but haven't pulled the trigger yet? What would you say to those people?
Well, if they're thinking about joining, it's because they already starting to wake up, you know. So just the thought of thinking of joining is a good start. So, I mean, if they are in your signal group, is because they were attracted somehow to your thinking and so also what's happening in the world. So right there, they're considering if they want to join the mastermind. Well, that's even better because now they're ready to invest in themselves and in their family future. So I wouldn't go really on my own to just like the amount of money it costs to join the mastermind versus the amount of money you could lose by just doing one bad call on one of those companies like that, because you will be suggesting different things in the signal group and to people, but it doesn't mean that they will know which company to buy. There's thousands of company out there. So this the fact of paying a certain amount of money to have that peace of mind that whatever you're choosing is proven, or it is more like it's been like underwritten by an expert in the mining industry. I mean, the cost of the mastermind is like you will make it in maybe one company that just like with their upside. So if you're thinking of joining and you don't know, maybe you have a trust issue like in terms of the money. Well, you shouldn't, because the amount of value that you're going to get once you receive all those companies and the master list of like whatever was purchased before with all those other members of the membership of the mastermind. um, it's invaluable. It's a no-brainer. Like if you reach at that point to be in the signal group, and then you thinking about joining the mastermind, I think you should. If you want to invest. If you don't want to invest, it's fine. You can keep on the sideline and keep getting educated, but then you can't keep on doing analysis paralysis after a while. If you're looking for something to invest into and you like mining, then you should definitely consider in doing the coaching mastermind. That's it's going to be a much better option for you. You won't lose.
That's good words, man. Do
Yeah.
you think do you think that you got your value for money, and how quickly did you get your value for money?
um yeah, I get my value from money because I know that the choice that the company that I have secured, they're solid and they're existing, because you're still doing your research to like if you suggest something, you always like have article or different things to prove that okay, this is uh this is solid. So just the fact of having like good companies that that they will eventually like uh increase much more, because they do increase, but right now with the market manipulation, it's like you putting your money is increasing, but then the way that it works is everything is on hold right now because of like the market manipulation. But it's just you have to position yourself in advance, because it'll be too late when it's time to once the mass start to realize, then all the price is going to go up all over the place, and then your point of entry won't be good. So I would say within the first year, the first 6 months, I recoup like whatever the cost of the mastermind is. And then after that, this is behind you. You know, the cost is behind. I mean, like you have those company already. If you want to pour more money into those that you already acquire, I mean, there's no limit. You know, the cost of mastermind is behind. I mean, that this is cost of doing business. I mean, just like you're going to school to get a job, and you will have to pay for that job. Yeah, I mean, you will have to pay for that education to get this job that eventually will have to, you know, that will produce. And after, you don't think about what you study costed you, because that's what you use in order to get there. So when you work, it's like, oh yeah, my, you know, my education, like it cost me like 30,000, but that's when you don't care, because you don't get what you need to make money. Now you move on to something else, you know. So the mastermind cost is the same thing. You need to pay, you know, like you need to pay something in order to learn something, or otherwise just go do it on your own. You're gonna burn all your
Or you
time,
won't value
or
it.
you won't,
Or
you
you won't
lose money.
you won't do anything. You'll just sit in your hands.
No, because you're
So
lost, completely lost. How you know? Like, I don't know. I mean, you need to have some insight. I know you're connected to certain people that, you know a lot more than you do, and you already know a lot. But then these people, like, you know, they're higher into like investing in mining. They have like sometimes maybe some insight. You know, I'm not quite sure of all work in your world, but you know, I'm pretty sure that you know where you get your information is solid, and then you just translate it and giving it to your members. You know, so.
for me, every day I look at reports, I listen to interviews,
Yeah.
I try to get data right from the horse's mouth. So a lot of times I'll go right to their website. Um, it's important to get information up to date.
Yep.
That's up to the second. I can't survive without information that comes daily to me. And I don't put out information that's a month old or a week old. It's up
Yep.
to the minute. Up to the minute
Yeah, yeah,
information.
you're on
So
the pulse. Yeah, you're on the pulse. That's for sure. You know, I mean, that's your gig. I mean, that's what you like. And for me, it's not my first mastermind. I have other things that I'm signed up with. I'm always paying for speed. You know, I'm always paying for speed, because it's either you do it yourself and super slow, might not get anywhere, but I'm paying for speed. So when I get into something I like and I know there's potential, I'm paying for speed. I'm going to the mastermind, top level, and then I'm buying speed. And that's what it is. You're buying speed, you're buying knowledge. I mean, how many years it would take me if I do not like learn that? And I can't learn everything. Like I don't know
decade,
nothing about mining. Why would I do
like a
that? I
decade
mean,
for real.
yeah, like I want to learn about land and like flipping land, or major subdivision or all that. You know, I mean, I need to go into that niche of somebody that done it and gonna explain to me. And then just like I'm buying speed, I'm buying knowledge, and you're buying years in advance. You're just buying paying somebody. So that's the way to go.
It's
I mean,
learning and earning, baby. Learning and earning.
that's it. Well, there's no other.
So that's great. I mean, that you hit the nail on the head. I mean, we're like-minded. So, but not
Yeah.
everybody's the same. Not everybody has the same thought processes. But we're not here to make everybody happy or to work with every single person. So it's okay.
Well,
Um,
yeah.
yeah.
I mean,
So go ahead.
yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say, well, is there any final things that you want to mention? Any last words, any final thoughts you want to share with people that are watching this?
Basically, it's to all those people that are on the fence. I think there's a major credit event that is in the midst of, preparation by all what's happening. You already see like a lot of signs out there. Government is like lying to your face, like daily. They just like all kind of stuff happening all over the world. I think that it's getting like it's choking like little by little. So I think it's good for you to prepare yourself. All those that are on the fence, I would strongly suggest that you're buying speed by joining Andrew Mastermind, because I mean, there's not really any other way. By the time you learn all those things, and if you learn it, and if you learn where to get it and in the right company, I think it'll be too late at that point. The mass would already have joined, like, and buy whatever they need to buy. So I think you shouldn't be afraid to buy speed, um, and go for it. And then I don't think you're gonna regret anything. I mean, if it's what you want to invest in. Like if you don't know what you want to invest in, then it's different. But if you know that, okay, this is the way, because mineral is the future. They will always need copper. They will always need silver. Now they want to keep on going more in solar, but then they want to switch all those things to silver. panels. So then what's going to happen to the silver? And it's just going to keep increasing. So that's a no-brainer. All those things around you, they're getting used every day. You're sitting, I'm sitting in my vehicle right now. I mean, it's like, this is all like steel and aluminum and all those things. I mean, it's like, I have my phone right now. This is made from components that is mineral. So, I mean, it's not going anywhere. So it's like people investing in some companies, like let's say some people will invest in Tesla, but I would rather invest in those companies that feeding Tesla of all their components. I will invest in like, this one that's creating a battery, so they will need lithium. So okay, let me invest in the lithium company. Let me invest in the iron company. To just bring it all together. Yeah, I mean, like, why invest in one thing when you can invest in everything that is around that's feeding this thing? So, I think it's very important to just like take a minute and see what's happening around you, see everything that is manipulated, and like your cash is going to like reduce so much by inflation that just like do something. If you don't do mining, do something else. It doesn't matter, but do something now. So, just be diversified. Just invest it in real estate, invest it in mining, invest it in like things that make sense, even growing food, like, like, but I think mining should be one of the things that you use to diversify your portfolio. And yeah, definitely. I mean, there's like, don't put your eggs in the same basket, but just at least put some in some basket,
That's right. I couldn't say it perfect any better than myself, man. So hey, I appreciate you, your kind words, your insight, your thoughts, your feedback. It helps a lot. Because a lot of people, one thing I wanted to say is that in your car, your catalytic converter has platinum and palladium in it.
That's
so right now your car has thousands of dollars worth of metals. So so okay, it's fantastic that people should be aware of mining. It's an option.
Yeah.
If it's for you, you have to pray on it. You have to talk to your spouse. You have to think about this with your gut. If I'm the person for you, then it's really just okay. Pull the trigger, get started, and get in the game. Because if you sit in the sidelines, you're going to miss out on the greatest bull market in history. Now, I don't provide. Like, I'll tell you this: I'm not licensed professional. I'm not guaranteeing returns. I'm not guaranteeing anything. Some companies on my list will go to zero. I have probably over 50 companies on the master list right now, and I'd say probably 10 to 15% of those will be worthless. Will go to zero. But on the other hand, I would say a significant amount of companies should do it well, from 3x to 5x, 10x, or 20x.
Wow.
I just don't know which one's going to do the best out of all of them. So that's why I make my own list. And
you did experience them that went really, like, really high in terms of like 20x or whatever, 50x, so you did.
I mean, Patrick, there's people who've invested in previous bull markets. They invested in stocks for like 10 cents that went to $10 a share. So it's completely possible. And it's not possible, but the amount of money that has to come into mining is going to blow people's socks off. And so we're going to benefit from the rise of all the mining companies once that money comes into the sector. I mean, if you think about it, the uranium market is only about $790 million, the entire uranium market. Apple is 3 or 4 trillion market cap. So, I mean, you could have 4 times the amount of money in uranium in Apple. So it's just insane. Like,
and
it's just. Go ahead. What were you going to say?
They're building so much reactor in China, much nuclear. They're building a lot of them right now. That's
China, Japan, France,
Yeah.
UK, they're all building nuclear power plants, and so that is a very tiny footprint as far as land, and the
Yeah.
amount of energy that's produced for the amount of material is there's no competition, and there's
Yeah.
no emissions. It's safely stored.
Yeah.
You know, people don't need to worry about these type of things
Yeah.
anymore. Now, hey, if you want to get in touch with me, the best way to get in touch with me is through my website, andrewmcdaniels.com, or through one of my social media, Facebook. You can look me up on Facebook. I'm on Twitter, or X as they now call it. I'm on Instagram. It's the at mining investing. What is it? I can't remember actually off the top of my head. But I'm on Instagram. I'm on YouTube. So basically, wherever you want to find me. I have my mastermind group on the Signal app. So I have 2 free groups. The first free group is on Facebook, and the second one is on Signal. So whatever is more convenient for you, you can join either group. But where the meat and potatoes are, it's this Signal group. So if you want to get the meat and potatoes, go to the Signal group, and if you're ready to join, you can message me, and then I'll talk to you for about an hour or two. Because Patrick, I think I talked to you for like 1 or 2 hours before you even joined, right?
Oh yeah. Several topics, not only on the mining, but you also do real estate and lending. You have different ventures going on also, as long with mining. So Andrew is very versed in different things. If you need fundings on your deal, is the
For
guy.
real estate. Yeah, I'm doing real estate funding too.
And that, so you're the guy to go on that also. So
Oh, I forgot. For Instagram, it's at mining investing education. So I had a brain freeze there. So, but Patrick, thanks a lot, man. It's been a pleasure talking to you. I always enjoy talking with you and spending, time with you, talking and exchanging ideas. And I hope everything's good for you, man. And we'll talk soon. Okay.
All right, sounds good. Thank you so much.
Thanks, everybody. Bye bye.
All right.